Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today it's stocks and crypto. That's what we have to talk about. Boom and bust, depending on how you're looking at it. And once again, no matter what, you can win either way. So tonight, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and once again in full SSN Nation regalia. Nobody's coming to save you. If this is not clear and you are sitting in a country, just remember there are people who are making the rules for you. Are you really free? I know you're feeling free. You can say what you want in a lot of places. You can do what you want in a lot of places. No repercussions. But in most places, you can't say, do, or operate how you want to operate. So therefore, you're going to have to start narrowing the field, in my opinion. Now, remember, you got 1 year. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. It's December 1st, ladies and gentlemen. You have 1 year to get your credit in order. That's right. Don't worry. We have tools that can help you. Why do you want to get your credit in order? It's so you can have a 36-month 0% interest. We're already up to 24. Next year, credit is going to extend even more, I believe. Forget the 18 months, forget the 21 months, forget the 24 months. Your credit score needs to be at 775. So, boom or bust, you will be able to get some sort of credit relief, especially if you can pay 0% interest. Just saying, for 3 years for whatever you swipe on a card. That's why you need that hefty credit score. And how do you get there? You pay your bills on time. And if you can't pay your bills on time, you do not want to file bankruptcy or debt collections because that hurts your credit score. Instead, debt resolution. Now, stock market trading, boom or bust. Last Friday night, we had a great discussion on stock trading, which is crypto trading, which is currency trading. It does not matter. The candlesticks, as you guys have seen, I put in the candlestick Bible that you can download and read for yourself because that is part of the equation on how you be able to trade, which is something nobody can stop you from doing. So when the stock market went down today, people were not the stock market. I don't want to say that. I actually want to say the crypto, the Bitcoin. When it went down today, people were able to take advantage of it going down. If it goes up, people are able to take advantage going up. You don't have to be in a hedge fund. You don't have to rely on someone else to do it. You can do it yourself. Well, see, here comes what we always call the gatekeeping scenarios against yourself. Because whenever it comes to money, numbers, a lot of people have a glaze over their eyes. They're sitting there like, oh, it's math. Oh, it's numbers. Oh, I don't want to have anything to do about it. Let me back away. Well, see, that's going to be a detriment to you. No longer can you sit there and think everything's going to be fine if the cost of living continues to rise, which it's going to. Now, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm talking about and what we're going to be talking about in the discussion. Please come join the discussion. The chat room is always open for discussion. for everybody. All voices can be heard because not everybody does things the same way. And that's why I wanted to talk about this again today, because stock and crypto trading is a must. So, like I mentioned at the outset, nobody's coming to save you. No government's coming to save you. You're going to have to put in the work yourself. That's right. I know it's a daunting task. So what if you have to learn for 3 months, 4 months, 2 months, 6 months, however long your learning curve is? You need to get in on it. All right, let me see who's in the house tonight. Mr. Worldwide 2 is here. Welcome. Another investor. Yes, in the stock market. Yes, in the real estate game. Yes, in the short-term rental game. He's in there, ladies and gentlemen, and put in the work at the job site so you have that pension funds. Welcome to the SSN Nation post-retirement travel, to this money making Monday live stream put on by the SSN Nation. That's right. And he brings his tagline this evening: hello all, let's do this. And that's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. We try to bring everybody up, because that rising tide, we need that heavily, because a rising tide lifts all boats. We need more people lifting and doing the hard work to bring along other people. That's what we're talking about here. And that's what we do. Now, here's the first part to the equations. I already said in the chat room, you're going to find that Candlestick Bible PDF everybody should be reading. And one other thing, since it's Christmas time, we have an author in the family. And I have these books in the background that I forgot to mention about this whole last 2-3 months. Star Cruiser Valken, Duran Drake. You know where you can get these: bookstores or online, Amazon, audiobooks. But there's two of them. The second book, Star Cruiser Valken 2, is there. Duran Drake. That's right. Duran Drake is my brother. He has passed away. So obviously the legacy continues. So I should always say they're cheap. Go get them free on audiobook. Check it out. Let me know what you think one of these times. Chat rooms open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and any other special live streams. But Star Cruiser Valken, cheap Christmas gift, I will say. All right. Now, let's get back to business at hand, because we have post-retirement travel in the house saying, I have no fear. Get into it. Stock market. Buy, buy, buy. Exactly. Exactly. You know the feds are going to reduce the Federal Reserve rate, right? The federal funds rate, they're going to reduce it. 2.5 months before the master of the chairman of the board, Jerome Powell, will be out because he's leaving. He will be replaced, and I have to use this terminology because I can't help myself. He will be replaced by one of Trump's stooges. And this is where America continues to go off the rail, when you have unqualified personnel running government services and administration. You know what, though? There's one thing that is not going to go off the rails. What does a rich trust fund kid do? I am not talking about me. I'm talking about the president of the United States. What do rich trust fund kids who know other rich ass people? And they're running the treasury. They're running the government. Who do you think they're going to be looking out for? Come on now. This is not hard to think about. Those that invest in the stock market, who want to partake into some parts of the financial system, they will carry you along. But you have to want to be carried. You have to grab, shackle yourself to something that's going to be able to take you up with the rocket ship. I'm hoping you're understanding. Stock market, crypto market, gold, silver, precious metals. Are you getting it yet? Those markets are going to be volatile, up, down, and up. It's already going to happen. And let's get back to Jerome Powell being replaced with the new flunky. You know what he's going to do. He will be voting to reduce rates even further. In case you guys don't understand and you're new here, you know what that means. That means these guys are going to be doing that intra trading at low interest rates to give them an advantage to buy properties. That means real estate, commercial, residential, stocks, bonds, gold, silver, because it will be low rates at interest only. Huge advantage. Almost kind of like a huge advantage when a president can buy bonds from Nvidia or Boeing and then give out contracts, government contracts to those same entities to make their bonds go up. I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything about legalities, but what I'm saying is you better join the rocket ship because they ain't caring about your ass. So, the only way you're coming along for the ride is preparation. And we want you prepared out here, ladies and gentlemen. You got 1 year, 1 month. And if you need help, a lot of people do, go to findhelp.org. It's that simple. Findhelp.org. Put in your zip code. You have to be in the United States. Put in your zip code and find the help that you may need, or your loved ones, or other family members, or general population, like anybody that's watching this live stream. Let's go. Post retirement travel. Thank you once again. I like the buy because that's what people should be doing. And by the way, you can always get this gear, you know where. Stop struggling now.com. Okay, EV Place, good evening. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And another investor is here, business owner, real estate investor, offshore investor, just like post retirement travel. He has already done the playbook. Post retirement travel has done the playbook. What's the part of the playbook? Having bank accounts or real estate or a business outside of the United States. Preview. We don't want the United States in our space. The rogue nation might be tapping into your bank accounts, into your crypto accounts, into your crypto that's in the custody of a regulated exchange. Just saying. Stay tuned. I already warned you many times that you should have your duffel bag of cash somewhere. Just saying. All right. He brings his tagline this evening. Good evening, SSN. I hope you are doing well. Yes, I'm doing well, man. I have a roof over my head. I got food in the cupboard, and the gas is on. What more can I ask for? And button smashed. I appreciate that. Giving it a one piece. And by the way, I appreciate Post Retirement Travel and EV Place for being members of the channel. I humbly appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. We just got remonetized about a month and a half, 2 months ago. That's right. We're out here trying to help people. And you know what Google says? They're the owners of YouTube. They said, oh no, you talk too badly about somebody, harmful rhetoric. I say, I tell it like it is. Now, we got anybody want to come in here and talk? The chat room is open. We have no problem with other people's opinions, but you better bring the facts because you know I got control of the studio. I can bring up receipts. Speaking of the receipts, the first receipt, I want people to understand this is very serious what's about to happen over the next year. So when Powell leaves, all hell's going to break loose because there's 9 votes. All right? And the Atlanta Fed chair is leaving. There's another so that means there's 2 people. That'll be 3 people that Trump will be able to appoint on the board. Then he's going to have that other seat for the chairman. So that's four. So all they need is pressurize one other person, and anything can go 5-4. They already tried to pressurize the lady with Pulte, which that dirty stuff that Pulte and their family has pulled, they got nerve. I will say that they got nerve to try and put somebody else into a situation knowing they're lying. That is, they got nerve. But this is what I'm saying. You got 5-4 that now they will probably try to reduce rates, and that means inflation goes higher. If inflation goes higher, assets go higher. Gold, silver goes higher. Do you understand? You need to have these in your portfolio. Do not be shy. Like post retirement travel ended his second sentence, buy, buy, buy. And if it goes down, you know what they're doing? They're basically wiping out those weak hands. Assets, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you need to get for another year. And during that time, you're going to hit part of that rocket ship ride. All right, let me go look here at Bitcoin right now. See, I don't even know if this is current. What happened today? Something happened that was weird. I was on Google and I put in, I don't remember what stock it was. And the stock price changed while I was in Google real time. And I said, oh, this is what we're doing now? That would be sweet. But now I've been sitting here on Bitcoin and it's been $86,513.27 since I started this live stream. So it's not live. So I don't know why or how that was live. So maybe it was just for that particular stock that I was looking at. I wish I could remember. But if some of you are too afraid to learn how to trade, okay, no problem. Then just go with the big boys. Just get a fund, ETF fund like a VOO. That's right. Did I tell you guys, if you're new here, always have your pen, pads, and papers ready. But everybody who's not new would know VOO we've been talking about for years. VTI, VOOG. Now, SPYQQQ, because I know post-retirement travel is going to start getting into that. SCHD even has come back onto his radar list. But again, if you're doing an index ETF, and that index is going up 15%, 10 to 15% annually, which is the possibility that's going to be rocking with now over the next year. That's not a bad idea, just to let your money sit and let the guys that manage that fund ETF deal with the profits, which they will deal with happily because they get paid handsomely for it. So therefore, Bitcoin down at 86,500 territory, trading off the charts because of the up and the downside. You can win on both. So this is why at the end of 2025, I am learning how to trade myself. And that's why anybody in the chat room, go up, scroll up. I put the Candlestick Bible in there because if you are not familiar with trading, as I was just a couple of months ago, then I suggest you learn, as does anybody that trades in the stock market. Learn whichever way you want to trade, whether it's options, whether it's just straight trading a stock, trading the index, trading. It does not matter. You need to learn. And you can learn at your speed and how comfortable you feel because there's different ways of trading. Being comfortable is number one on the list. You need to have comfortable position that you feel every time you do something. You're like, you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, you're not stressed because you're not second guessing yourself. That's the way it should go, ladies and gentlemen, just so you understand. Now, once again, smash the like button. Once again, let your friends know what we're out here doing. Now, I need to get into that debt situation because you know what I want to know? I didn't even look this up, but I'm just going to look it up right now. I'm going to go Google. Let me know what you guys think, who's here. Do you think we hit an all-time record high for Black Friday? I want to know what you think. It seems that Americans don't have money. All the statistics say they don't. 8 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck. The one reason why America gets to continue to go down a path is because of credit. So even if you have no money, as long as you have a credit card and you can pay $30 or $50 or $150 on a card that you will never pay off for 7 to 10 years, if you just paid the minimum and given them, Jesus, I don't know, 3, 4 times your money that you swiped. But if that's what you want to do, that's what a lot of people are doing. Let me know what you guys think before. I'm going to start looking right now to see what the numbers were. I'm just going to put in record Black Friday sales. Hold on a second. 2025 in USA, question mark. Let's see. What does Google say about that? I'm willing to bet you there is one. Look at here. Look at this is so disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Yes, US Black Friday sales for 2025 set a record with online spending reaching a historic $11.8 billion. This is 9.1% year over year increase, was driven by factors like AI powered shopping tools, deep discounts, and a continued shift toward mobile and buy now, pay later. Ooh, payment options. Well, now we have not only credit cards, now we have the buy now, pay later. Wow. Which again, high interest rates, problematic. Okay. Is that not a shocker? What did I tell you? Even with 8 out of 10 people living paycheck to paycheck, you see where we're going, ladies and gentlemen? You understand that your job may not be around 3 years from now, 2 years from now, that you're comfortably living and happy. Do you understand this? I hope. Because there is no plan to increase employees or employment. Because I'm going to tell you guys, falling for this okey doke about these what do they call these things? I don't want to say Bitcoin mining centers, but now they're bringing in these other type of centers, and I'm just like shipping centers, distribution centers, computer centers, and they're lying to you. They're going, oh, it's going to bring in 2,000, 5,000 jobs in the neighborhood. Yes, it is when they're building the infrastructure. After the infrastructure is built, it's automated. And by the way, your water and electricity is going to go up if you live around there because water is going to be depleted. Your underground water is going to be gone. All right? Just keep that in mind. Man. Uh, this is insane. So, as AI, artificial intelligence, and other things happen, it's going to reduce the labor force. And unless somebody starts figuring out a way to actually make it where robots do not replace humans, because I'm going to tell you something. Think about this. This is very simple to think about. If you had to pay a person a livable wage, which is now roughly $60,000 a year. Depends on where you live. 45,000 to 67,000. So you can figure out it'd be in most major cities, you're going to need at least 67,000, right? So, or up. But the point I'm trying to make is if I have to pay you $40,000 a year, let's just keep it on the low end. That's not even livable wages hardly these days. But I can buy a robot for 20,000. that can work 24/7. I don't have to worry about anything, employee clocking in on time. I don't have to worry about paying for sick leave or vacation time or any health care. I don't have to worry about any OSHA. I don't have to worry about nothing. And I'm going to employ at least a few dozen people that need to stand by and man the center. We're just not going to leave the robots to roam by themselves. Think about them paying $20,000 a year or $20,000 for 2 years or 3 years of service by a robot. Do you not think corporations and companies would not jump on this? What planet are you on? Labor exploitation at its finest. So, one thing is for sure that is coming. That also means a large percentage of the population. What if it's 50%? Right now, it's 11%. It's 11.7 or 11.5, according to MIT. So, what if it's 20% of the workforce? Now, the question's going to be next, Eric, what's the workforce? Well, that is the $1 million question. It could be 180 million people. So if you start saying, well, 20% is going to be gone by next year, this time, which is probably the likelihood, then that means you've just dusted off 36 million jobs. And what's going to replace those 36 million jobs? You're going to be going out to work with the farming business? What? What are you going to do? You're going to be a teacher? I mean, what? You're going to work for the federal government? Doubtful. TSA? Doubtful. You guys hear about TSA today? Those data centers is what I'm referring to earlier. Remember the TSA? Did you guys get the memo? I couldn't believe what I was looking at. TSA is talking about they're going to charge people $45 if they don't have a real ID, starting like January 20th or 26th or something like this. I don't know when it's, I mean, they've been talking about this. Now, you need a passport. I just want to remind people that some people, citizens that are getting detained and put in concentration camps, the ICE looked at their real ID and said it was fake. Just saying. So you are going to believe that they're going to be fair with this too, right? Again, do you know where you live, ladies and gentlemen? Protect yourself at all costs. All right, here we go. Are you still in Yomax? No, I am not. PLTY still holds over 53 and dividend over 1% weekly. Yes, I know. But again, remember, my dollar cost average was around 40 something, 47, 48. I can't really remember, 49. It was in the 40s. So when it ejected down to, remember, we were at 69. Remember? Remember that? We were at 67, 69. It even went over 70, I think, at one point, briefly. But remember, I said once it got down to 62 or 60, I'm taking the dividends and keeping that per share profit intact. So again, it hit that 60, whatever it was, 62, 61, and it ejected me. And I was happy for that. I am not mad. But the point is, yeah, 53, no surprise, but it was way higher. So if you didn't sell, um, or was it 50, upper 50s? Maybe it wasn't 40. So I can't remember. But anyhow, all I know is I kept the profit from the actual stock price and the dividends because again, if you own 100 shares and you paid $50, or I'll put it a different way. I have 100 shares and I paid $60 a share, right? So we paid $6,000. Now I have 100 shares and it goes down to $55. Now I have $5,500 and now they're going to give me like if they gave 1% a week, right? Um, so now I'm getting what is that, $60, I think, something like that, right? So that's the conundrum that starts happening, right? So 1% a week is hefty. I will say that. Yeah, that's $60. That'd be 360 a month. So that would be good. So now if it dropped down to 50, because this is actually what happened. Now if it drops down to 53, now I have 5,300. And if I am getting 360 a month, that would be kind of high. That's like uh what is that? Is that would be 50%. That would be that would be awesome if they were able to do that. That would be pretty high. But everybody can understand if the drops down, that's a problem. Joe Nay is in the house, ladies and gentlemen, chilling on the island of his preferred choice. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Another investor is here. He is here, and he says Feliz. It's not Feliz never died yet. What's good, everybody? I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Thank you. I hopefully you are doing well over on the island, having fun. All right. I just smashed that like button. Thank you so much. I smashed the like button as well. Make sure you guys out there smash the like button. Show some love so we get on the algorithm. All right. I've ejected at 60, but I went back in at 53. Now I see where you're going with this. I like to hear that because I love that you took the profit and then went back in. I love that maneuver. I have to admit, I love it. I love it. I love it because Palantir is one of those preferred choices by our federal government in power right now. Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance, they have other deals amongst themselves, plus history back on Silicon Valley before he became senator as well. Woof. Again, it's who you know that is making this work for them. And so, therefore, Palantir, you got to go and rock with them, especially if you've already taken your profits and it has dropped down to $53, knowing full well they are going to benefit from any stock reductions and government contracts for surveillance. Oh, by the way, if you think Palantir is just some innocent company, no, they are doing your surveillance on your facial recognition anytime you're swiping, anytime you're walking through airports. Think about it. Surveillance. Don't let them fool you out here. Protect yourself. All right, let's go. Brian P., Mr. Dividend, speak of the devil, in the house, Mr. Dividend doing the salsa dance every Friday and Monday, just like EV Place has been doing, and we've all been doing over the course of a year, year and a half, 2 years. Beautiful. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Man, he brings his tagline this evening. Happy day, Eric. Yes, it is. Another day to be our best. I hope all is well with you and your family. Thank you. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button, give it a one piece and an uppercut. You got to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Show some love. All right, check out your emails. Speaking of check out my emails, I knew he's going to say something like that. I already told them about the TSA charging $45 for real IDs. And guess what else? If you don't have a real ID, they're going to charge you $45. This is crazy. Hold on, let me pull this up because I can't even believe they're doing this. This is just outrageous. This is outrageous. Hold on, where is it at? Did I keep it up? Because I'm thinking of the Delta airline flights that's going to be canceled. Uh, uh, do I not have it? Oh, I don't have it. That's why. Okay, hold on. Let me go get a look at this again. I just want to say again, TSA. Oh, here we go. Uh, TSA will charge $45 fee for air passengers without real IDs. Yes. And I'm going to say again, there's United States citizens that have real IDs. ICE rolls up on them. ICE looks at their real ID and they say it's fake. Toot, hook them up, throw them out to a concentration camp as a USA citizen. The real ID didn't mean shh. All right. This is today, courtesy of Mr. Dividend. Passengers without, and here's the worst part. In May 2025, they started enforcing the standards known as Real ID. I don't know. I've been through a lot of airports since May of last year. Maybe because I was using like my regular ID and my passport. So I don't know when this, but here's the thing. The $45 fee will cover travel for a 10-day period. Almost like a visa type thing. Unbelievable. So who are they protecting, ladies and gentlemen? Nobody. I'm like, what the? I mean, like, I'm missing all of these rogue Muslims and rogue people from outside the United States that want to hurt United States. I'm not following. There's nothing happening. TSA has been on their job. Nothing is happening. There has been nothing that's been happening at these airports. Seriously, especially with facial recognition. Come on now. The bad guys have to wear a mask. Wait, hold on. Did I just say that? Yeah. Bad guys wear masks. I mean, American citizens, we got an ICE. They wear masks. That's the good guys don't wear masks. So therefore, are there masked people going to the airport? Because facial recognition, you're not going to get far wearing a mask in an airport, right? There's no dummies going to the airport that's going to do something. You'd have to be real stupid. Because you're going to have to wear a mask. Because you're going to have racial recognition no matter which airport you're in America. So bad guys don't want to go there if they're on the watch list or any list, because they will know where you are. Let's get real. This is crazy right now. So this $45 fee, congratulations, Americans. If you don't have a real ID or a passport, you need a passport. Again, I don't know how this is affecting anything. I just got tired of busting out my passport on my last few flights, and they just used my driver's license. I said, I'm just tired of busting this thing out. This is ridiculous. You know why it's ridiculous? You're already in the system. See, this is the thing. When you went to go get your ID cards, you're already in the system. You come up when you go through immigration. They can look at you. I'm like, this is insane right now. So think about it. You're going to be paying apparently sometime. I don't know when, if you don't have a real ID, but you're going to need passport. And again, I've been using my driver's license and it's been good. Just so you guys understand. Um, Last time I went to the airport, these guys started doing, oh, we got to take a picture. But the previous 3 or 4 times, no picture. So I don't know what they're doing out here. But anyhow, once you push in and show your passport, or they slide in your card, you're in the system. Your picture, your info from your card, it's there. I mean, it's not even rocket science at this point. They have your info, just like when you go open up a bank account. They have your info, your social, know where you allegedly live. They have your info, your social security numbers or your EIN numbers, whatever. They have the info. This is not, they're doing extra on this surveillance. And it's damn sure not for any illegal immigration. All right, let's get real. They're tracking you, gentlemen, ladies. All right. Okay, we'll get into that. PLTY is the only one holds listing price. Yes, EV Place. That was always one of the benefits that I loved about PLTY, is because it didn't drop as fast as the others. and that always gave a great dividend annually. So it made sense to hold it, like I said. But I was like, I'm out because I was like, I, I just like the profit and the dividends. It was going great for that year. 53 is start getting kind of crazy, but what if it goes to 49, 51, which could be a likelihood, but we will see. We will see. All right, Brian P. Crazy, exactly. It's real crazy out here. Um, Back to what I was saying about Peter Thiel and JD Vance. You know they own Acre Traders, right? Do you guys know what Acre Traders is? Acre Traders is a company that buys up farmland. So let me ask you something. If I want to buy up farmland and I run the administration and I bankrupt farmers due to tariffs, I mean, tariffs, because we're trying to get jobs in America. That's what we're calling it. You fell for it. These these farmers are going out of business. Acre traders with JD Vance, Peter Thiel, and their buddies are out here saying, let me buy up your land, even though we bankrupted you. But I mean, come on, Americans. You can't be this silly. Check out this news. Uh-oh. Fidelity cus oh 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 I actually had this up, man. Hold on a second. Let me go find it. Let me see if I still have it on my oh yeah, the blackout. Oh wait, was that it? Log in. No. Oh yeah, I was looking at that, man. I just started laughing. I don't know what to do at this point. Because I already told you guys, my brokerage account has been snatched before. My bank accounts have been snatched before. I've been telling you about in the United States, you don't live where you think you live. Here we go. Fidelity blackout is when the 401k. Let me see if I can find the. That's not what I'm looking for. That's what they're blaming it. They're blaming it on a blackout. But just keep in mind, when there's a blackout, people aren't taking it lightly, right? I'm going to read this. Hold on, since I can't pull it up. Here it is. Some call it mind boggling power grab, but the company says it's about safety. Fidelity customers lose 401k access. See, you guys, I told you guys about this 2, 3 years ago, right? When I told you the Georgia Bank, when they sold the bank goes out of business, they move the customers with their savings and loan accounts to another bank. The brokerage account. They're like, hold up. Hold up. We're not sending that over to you. In fact, you don't have access no more, gentlemen, ladies. So freak out for a year or so before we're going to determine if we're going to give it to another bank or give it to a broker or whatever. Yes, this is major. As a major investment company and financial technology platforms fight over access to client retirement accounts, some customers caught in the middle of discovering that the K in 401k. Uh-huh. Go on. Go on. I told you guys it already happened. I told you. It's just a matter of time. They only F with certain people first. Then it starts going, oh, we had a glitch. Oh, it's a problem. Yeah, okay. Keep thinking that way. I told you guys that duffel bag of cash, like I mentioned at the beginning. Okay. Okay. Now you're getting the program yet? I know. It has to happen to you before you start realizing you might want to start thinking about protecting yourself. Because when you can't get access, what if you didn't have access today, this week, next week, and they're telling you, hey, we're out of business. We're going to send your 401k, your brokerage account to somebody else instead of sending it back to you. We're going to hold it for you. It's safe. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That playbook has already been played. So this little stuff that happened right here, I'm pretty sure people started freaking out. I, on the other hand, already know. Check your driver's licenses. You may already have it anyways. Here in Florida, the little stamp already appears on the top right corner. Your passport is also good, or military ID. Go to the DMV. Yeah. California kids, we have to go get a real ID. So you can have a driver's license and a real ID. The real ID, I don't even understand. They want you to bring in your passport, bring in like Jesus, I mean a deed or lease agreement, or I'm like, why? I'm like, this is insane. Uh, all kind of crazy. Um, I don't get it. But like I said, anytime ICE says that your real ID is no good, they've arrested USA citizens. So you do realize the same thing can be said if you're trying to travel. There's already an opening for this. I'm just saying, 100% righty. They are tracking people. Exactly. That's all they're doing. That's what this is. PRT, same in Massachusetts, yellow star sign on DL. You know what? I got a new ID. Let me go check something out. I don't have a real ID though. I don't have a real ID. Well, I would show you mine. Hold on, let me see something. Let me see something. Yeah, I'll do it. No, I can't even do that. Doggone it. Oh yeah, here we go. I'll do this. I want to show you guys something. I must have been living good. I must be living good. Look at this. Look at this. I have to. I'm gonna take off my ID info, right? I must be living good. Let me see what is this? When prompted, enter your receipt. Oh, hold on. I got something else. Okay, here we'll do this because that won't matter. All right. I got a Landry Select card. Okay, that's for their restaurants. Landry's, uh, Joe's Crab Shack, Morton's Steakhouse. I didn't even know he owned all this stuff. Mitchell's Fish Market, Chart House. Yeah, that's cool. Golden Nugget Casinos, Rainforest Cafe. There's something else that's weird. M&S. I don't know what that is. Saltgrass. Vic and Anthony's Steakhouse. Okay, cool. Okay, I must be living good. I'm proud of this. I was like, hold on. Am I barely aging? Look at this. I'm proud of this. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe this. This is like 4 or 5 years later. Can you believe this? These are different cards, by the way. Look, they use new font on the new one. Oh, this side. New font. That's the new one. Look at that. Look at that fellow right there. I can't even believe it. When I looked at it, I was like, wait, did they use the same photo from before? No, this is a new photo. I was like, oh my God. Jeez, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'm going to have to give you guys the magical elixir. You know what the magical elixir is? SSN Lifestyle. Magical elixir. You know, progesterone cream, iodine, blueberries, lion's mane. Well, hold on. All those are separate. The, hey, the wife makes health food products, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, not health food, health products. In the stores, in the shelves, saving lives, breast cancer research. Right. People who have tumors, people that are in hospitals, they have people that do alternative medicines and they use product. So it must be working when your hormones are balanced. That helps greatly. Women, you stop making progesterone cream when you're in your 30s. That helps you when you are pregnant. That helps you balance something that you don't get, and the doctors give you estrogen. Estrogen causes cancer. Stop it. So when they give you pills for, guess what? when you try to take pills so you won't have children, it's estrogen, which is bad for you. Just saying, I know it's a necessary evil for a lot of people, but that's what the repercussions are. It's bad for you. Therefore, you need to balance that out and have some progesterone because you've stopped producing it in your 30s and beyond. And that is much needed for pregnancy, for your children. Oh, we'll get into that another day. This ain't the time. But yellow star sign, I don't have any stars on mine because I don't have a real ID. There is nothing safe about people who do not have access to their 401k. Exactly, Joe Nay. Even if it is what they're calling an outage. In fact, let me go pull it up because I actually had it up. I must have erased it when I started messing around with the screen. Let me go find this. I know it's here because I was looking at it. I wanted to read it, but I didn't read the whole thing. There it is. New policy leaves some old 401k customers locked out. That's what it was. New policy, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe that? Can you believe this? I'm just like, but again, I told you guys starting what 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I told you about Georgia Bank that closed and they kept my brokerage account. And it's still 2 years before they made any decisions. 2 years. And people were like, oh, yeah, yeah, right, don't happen. Right on. In fact, it might even been, that's effed up. So I feel bad for all these people. Hold on, let me go see. I got to read this because it's significant because we are proponents of having a 401k, right? Some people have a 401k with Fidelity, a solo 401k. Now we have a problem. Okay, Fidelity's new POS. Okay, here, I'm going to leave a link in the chat room so people go themselves. We should not just make decisions, ladies and gentlemen. Now do you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Remember over the last week or two, I've been talking about that Bankus card, and I was talking about non-regulated CoinX for my broker account, doing trading. And some people was like, why? Because I have to use crypto to send the money to them, which is fine. It's not like illegal. It's just fine. And then after they have it and I do trading, and if I make profit, I don't want to send it back to United States properties that are regulated. I want to send it outside of USA regulated areas. So I'm going to send it to my bankers. It goes there. And now it's sitting on a prepaid card. It's that simple. There's nothing crazy. But I just feel better because it seems like we live in a freaking third world country when we have banking problems. Now your 401ks, which we already knew was going to be a problem because it already happened to me years ago. 2026 is going to be real tough year for Americans living in the USA. Joe Nay, I can't say that sentiment more than enough. I can't say that. Real ID is just extended version of regular driver's license. Yes, kind of. So my driver's license, which I just showed you guys, they would not give me a real ID, nor do I really want one. Because after they go, oh, I'm sorry, we need your address, we need your birth certificate. They started giving me this list, your birth certificate or your passport or your uh, whatever documents they wanted. I was like, is this a joke right now? I said, I don't need to do any of that. I got a passport. So why am I going to come in here and pay for a real ID? I have a driver's license. So be it. We're done. I don't need to do anything like that. I don't need to self sign in so you guys can have another spot where you go, oh, state of California. No, I don't need you guys to know any more things about me. I got beef with you guys still. So, no. I'm like, nah, you don't need to. You can find out from the federal government. Whatever you want to know, you can find out from the federal government if you don't know. I don't need to give it to you. I'm anti government, quite frankly. Not anti government, so to speak. I mean anti tracking. That's what I mean. I don't like what America has become, where they're sitting there trying to be in your pockets, know where your money is, and have regulation and rules that you're giving them the information so they can just take it from you. I got a problem because, like I told you guys before, 40 years ago, 30, 40, maybe 40 years ago, I had my money stolen by banks. So I knew then my money sitting in a bank is not going to happen. Simple. All right. Not going to happen. So now when the money's sitting in a brokerage account, you're thinking at the time, that's one last bastion they're never going to F up, right? Well, fast forward, starting in the last 5 to 10 years, they started messing with people's brokerage accounts. So this is no surprise that this would come up. Now, I got to read this a little more though, because we got people watching this and I got to put this in the chat room. Let me go do this because that's more important. People need to protect themselves. You got to understand what you're doing. So now I got to go find a brokerage account. And so I do have a brokerage account, not regulated by the United States government, so they can't take it. But the problem with that is, I have to be honest, because it's not regulated in the USA, that means the other side of the fence could eventually say, oh, well, we'll just take it. But that's why I have it where I'm going to take profits and download them immediately. I'm not leaving it in that brokerage account. So I'm going to have it in my space on my card and nobody can take it because it's been literally just a prepaid card at that point. Simple. That's the way I'm looking at it. But yeah, in California, it's not a regular driver's license. You have to bring in some other nonsense. You can blame the states that allowed Muhammad Atta and the other 9/11 hijackers to get driver's licenses to support their attack on our country for real IDs. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. That's the problem. I mean, we have see. My thing is this: we have situations in America that people from outside of America can come and train inside the USA. They don't have to be a citizen. They can just get the whatever visa or extended student permits, whatever. So that's why I'm like, I don't even know if that would have changed anything. So when they said in the 2000s, Bush went over and said we need surveillance and Americans were vulnerable because of 9/11, all that does is just basically look at American citizens. Meanwhile, the little 0.002% that want to harm America can go idly by because they can come on a student visa, a work permit, a H-1B, all kind of things that they could actually be here legitimately for. There's no way to track a person that when you have immigration in a country, America has immigration. So I don't know if those type of things that the 9/11 hijackers, they could probably still do that to this day because those guys had approval. They're at flight training school. I mean, this is crazy. But yes, they use that so they can do surveillance on American citizens, which is started with the phone calls where they started saying, "Hey, I need to be able to unlock your cell phones. I need to be able to go to the what FISA courts and have secret courts that'll give us our warrants that we want and all this crazy." And people said, "Oh yeah, that's because of the people that hurt America." And I'm just like, "What do you guys do understand? They're going to turn that on you sooner or later. It's not like it's to get the bad guys. There's not enough bad guys to get." That's the thing. That's the real deal. If you have 300 million people, 350 million people, let's say you have 20,000 bad guys. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If I'm a bad guy, I can get inside of America anytime. I don't even need a passport as an American citizen right now. You know why? Because I know three of the borders are not covered. Canadian border, the oceans, Atlantic and Pacific. Are you serious right now? And If I'm in Mexico, heaven forbid if I'm in Mexico and stranded, god dang, I don't even want to have nothing to do with that. But let's get real. Even if I'm in Mexico, I can get into America. There's no fences, anything in the mountainous regions that cover Mexico and the United States. There's tunnels under Americans' border. This is absolutely ludicrous. So they're using all this stuff that you guys think it's protecting you, but the bad guys can get in if they want to anyhow. I'm just saying. That's why I get a little riled up. I'm just like, what are we talking about here? You're sitting here acting like you have four borders that are covered when they're not. None of the four are covered fully. You're acting like people don't have boats, that they can't dig or jump fences. I mean, this is ludicrous. So if bad guys really wanted to come and hurt you, United States citizens, they can walk across. And you know what's funny? I don't recall this ICE people finding all these so-called Taliban bad Al Qaeda dudes coming across the southern border that they lied to us and said, "Oh yeah, there's all yeah." You haven't even caught one yet. Don't even let me get started. I don't like rhetoric. I don't even like this is common sense. But then again, I guess it's not so common because a lot of people don't live in border states. They don't know that people have work permits daily that they can cross the border legally. And all I'm going to say is, how do I know that Juan Ramirez and Jose Ramirez, when they come across, how do I know one is not the other if they look similar? Seriously. If bad guys really want to come to America and do damage, they can get here easily, or any country for that matter. It ain't like, I mean, it's not really that hard. I mean, seriously, this is crazy. But do you feel safe now? You don't know where you live. All right. So, yeah, the real IDs come. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, the real ID came from the 9/11. And he's exactly right because Bush and those guys got extra powers for surveillance. And it just blossomed into more. Now we have Pelletier and other corporations signing on to pay attention to United States citizens more and more. And all I'm saying is here we have an administration that's pardoning people that they've caught that like this drug dealer that had 400 tons of cocaine. How does he get a pardon? But meanwhile, we're blowing up boats in Venezuela. Don't even let me get started. This is craziness right now. They're without proof. I'm like, this is getting crazy right now. Yeah, let's just pardon the drug dealers that brought in tons of cocaine, right hand man to El Chapo and all these other guys. Yeah, no problem. But now we're on a war against drugs, against Venezuela off of their coast in international waters. Okay, this has something to do with your money, ladies and gentlemen. They're effing with it. Don't you understand this? This is why you need to figure out a game plan where you're going to be able to keep your money. The fidelity thing, okay, that's you might dismiss it, but it get this. The policy by Fidelity, introduced in September 2024, prevents customers from sharing their login credentials with outside financial advisors. But many workers who don't get to choose which company manages their employee sponsored 401k plans rely on independent advisors to help monitor and grow their retirement funds. Do you guys getting the obstacle? You understand they're shutting down, making things smaller and smaller for you to be able to maneuver in case they you have somebody that comes in and says, "You know what? This doesn't look right. Something's not right." I'm always skeptical when they have gatekeepers. Now, some of the customers are discovering that their advisor's access has been cut off. That's right. In certain cases, their accounts have been temporarily locked. Woo! It's bothersome, and that Fidelity is acting like they own my money, said Steve Fraser, longtime Fidelity customer. You know what? Here we go again. You guys know when you sign these forms and have brokerage accounts, you know whose money it is at that point? You know, I haven't even read Fidelity's because if you want to have an account with Fidelity, you got to sign it. I'll be willing to bet you it's just like a bank. When you sign over your money, when you open up a bank account, there's language that says it's their money. And now here we have brokerage accounts acting like it's their money because you signed something that said when you opened up this account, you allow them certain things. Well, now you're finding out that certain thing is we can limit, we can do whatever. But some financial advisors see it differently. They argue that the policy effectively limits customers' ability to seek independent financial guidance, pushing them instead toward Fidelity's own advisory services. Either way, I don't need you guys to determine who has access to my account. It's none of your business until it is now in 2025 when you have a government that's $40 trillion in deficit. Where are they going to get the money from? Just for starters, American citizens and those of you who live in and reside in America, where do you think they're going to get the money from if there's another bailout necessary? Think about it. Don't think too long because it's very simple. Don't be in denial. The typical employee isn't getting any help, any support, anything really on a plan. A 401k plan is not good, said financial advisor John Rathman. Wow. 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 There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody's been sitting there going, Eric's crazy out here. I told you guys about this 2-3 years back. I told you, and I've been telling you 6 years ago that you better be prepared. It's going to keep getting worse. Nothing's going to change. In your emails, yes, I got it. Thank you, Brian P. And I put it in the chat room so everybody can pull it up. Also, there are 86 Social Security retirement checks left at 100%, around 7 more years. That's correct. If the U.S. Congress don't act, starting with check 87, your benefits will reduce by 23%. God bless the USA. That's right. Your own money has already been taken, stolen by our Congress and our government, and it's a shortfall, and they don't want to replace it. Instead, wouldn't it have been nice, instead of having $1 trillion to ICE, that people kept their Medicare, kept their Medicaid, and they decided to put money back in to the Social Security fund that they took out and tax the top people 1960s, 1970s rates, or half of 1960s and 1970s rates. Either way, but the tax cut tax break for these guys, seriously, stop. Okay, in case you guys are new here, and the reason why I advocate for you guys to stop stock and credit boom, crypto boom. The reason why I'm advocating for you guys to become traders is simple. Because of things like the Fidelity 401k, you need your own account. So let's get started. Number one, I'm going to keep saying this, findhelp.org if you need some help. Second off, I'm going to keep leaving it every live stream. CoinEx, that is who I use for a broker account for trading. Now, the only bad news is CoinEx can't be used for TradingView or anybody else. You know why? Because CoinEx is not regulated by the United States government. So therefore, certain places, but again, they will not allow you to use them as a broker. So for me, I'm like, I don't really care. I'm just using it as an intermediary. Yes, I'm using it to trade. Yes, whatever profits I'm going to take down to my banker's card. So I don't really care. It's temporary. For my profits, they're off in less than, well, from anywhere from a few minutes to, if it's late night, they don't run 24/7. So it's 5 a.m. before they move crypto. And there's something else. You know what? I just like telling people these things because I think it's so awesome. The thing that I love is, here's the CoinX, ladies and gentlemen. If you're thinking about trading, get them as a broker or at least sign up. All right. Not saying you have to use them. I'm just saying logically, I would be cognizant of what America is doing. They're making sure the rich people get more money from your taxes, from government contracts, and they're making their taxes lower for corporations instead of taxing them more like they should, because they don't even hardly do livable wages anymore. And they should have just taxed them more so then it can replenish the coffers. All right. And all this thing about these rich guys going to leave, this, that, and the other, please. America's number one consumer market. You think businesses are going to leave? Stop. Full stop. Come on now. Why are they trying to scare people? You know good and well. Rich dudes, they like their mansions. They like their New York City 50 million, 30 million, $10 million condos, townhouses, homes. You think they're really going to leave? Come on. Is there really a better place than America when we start talking about major cities? There might be a few in the world, but that's all it is. You're not going and have subways. Well, I shouldn't say that in China, but China's number two, right? Let's get real. China's on par with America. They're back in like this is 1945, 1950 is where China is right now. They are the ones that have all these manufacturing facilities. The labor is cheap, just like in America was back then. That's where China is. Now you know what's going to happen. It's going to go like that for China too, because the world goes to them. They don't come to America because we don't have the cheap labor like we used to. So it's pretty simple. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, you better figure out where you're going to keep your money. So CoinX is my broker account. Now you can use certain, you can't use TradingView. Like I said, TradingView won't hook you up with CoinX. Then get a bank account outside the United States. I suggest if you go on holiday, you go on vacation to another country, if that country allows you to open up bank accounts, you should. All right? Do it. Don't be shy. Bring your bank statements, or don't bring them. Get your last 6 months bank statements, copy them, download them to your email or wherever on your computer, laptop, phones. I don't really care. Make sure you have that. Make sure you have your W-2 or uh, your IRS tax forms, 2 forms of ID on you when you leave the country. Simple. All right? That's simple. Hell. And your bank accounts, right? Your 6 months of your bank accounts. Just because you never know what country you're in. Some ask for all of that, some don't. Depends. But it behooves you to, when you're going outside the country, you say, hey, can I open up a bank account and see what they say? All right? Just saying. You guys might as well just get on the same platforms as me. Bankus. Here goes a Visa debit card. Nothing to me, it's nothing more than a prepaid card. All right. But this prepaid card, which I have not ordered mine yet, because I didn't want the oh wow. I didn't want the oh man, I forgot about that. I didn't want the metal card. The metal card's working for all intents and purposes. Nobody's reported theirs being stuck. But the reason that is because I can download crypto to the card. So now it's a crypto debit card with the Visa logo. So it's a prepaid card. It's that simple. And it's not in the United States jurisdiction as either. So therefore, or not jacking my 401k. They're not jacking my brokerage accounts. They're not jacking nothing. Just saying. Now, let's just get real on the other side. If the other guys decide to be rogue, then yes, I could be jacked in some form. But all I'm saying is, United States for sure has jacked me before. So I'm comfortable with giving other people a little bit of a window to prove that they're going to be all right. All right. Because once there is one thing, Bankus, I put the link in. Apple, you download the app. Apple is different. I don't. It's a little strange. The Android goes straight ahead. You can, it's pretty simple. But look at the information, the directions that they do for Apple. At least sign up. You don't have to order the card, but at least have it at your disposal. The link is in the chat room. There'll be a link down below in the description box, no matter what platform you're watching on. So just do it that way. Just get it. So you have the app. If you want to order the cards, there's another component to this that I don't really like that much. It's because if you refer people, then they give you a percentage if a person buys the card, right? 3 or 4%. Okay, whatever. But the point is, that's not the focus here. It's not a business opportunity, although some people are trying to treat it that way. I find it, I need survival skills. I need where government is not in my business. That's what I need. I don't want any government control of my money. Anything. You can control your borders with passports and visas and all this crap. But money wise, governments keeping, tracking people's money, being able to take their money, that is not good in a free society. I might as well just live anywhere else in the world if I'm going to care about that. Let's get real. If I want to worry about a government controlling my money, there's a whole bunch of countries you can live in. Hell, you can just go hang to the next best country in China that's doing everything they want to do, put your money in their bank. But see, here's the problem. Run a red light, your money's out of your bank account because they control and have access to your funds 24/7. You want to live in that society? Great. I don't. And if America's doing that too, I don't want my money in America either. You guys getting the picture from me. I'm just making it plain and clear because we got 1 year left, ladies and gentlemen. You need your credit right, then I suggest you get debt consolidation, tracy.sharpe at moneyladder.com. All right, let's get everything under the control because every live stream I'm going to talk about this. TRACY dot sharpe, SHARP as in Paul E, at moneyladder.com. Hit her up. Let her know, Eric, SSN Nation. They told me to hit you up. I need some help. All right, email her. All right, this is what she does. You got 1 year. She can get you straight 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. You need it. Don't file bankruptcy. Don't get into debt collections. Just get your payments paid on time. They say you paid on time. And at the end of that time frame, your credit is where we need you to be. Get it up to that 775. Okay? All right. It's in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. Enough with this spiel. The stock and crypto, boom or bust. No matter what's happening, if you are doing any trading, boom or bust, you win. Where else can you do boom or bust and win? Most people who have their money in a 401k, since we're talking about the Fidelity situation, is normally long. You're on the buy side. As long as the stock prices are going up, you are good. But if the stock prices go down, your portfolio decreases. Fair enough. Just like Bitcoin right now, it's down to 86,500. So anybody who bought it 125 or 120 or 115 or 110, you're all like, damn, I lost 20% or more on my money. 30, 40% actually. 30% on my money to 40%. That's significant. But what if you turned it into trading? Now, when Bitcoin went down, you could have used that to your advantage to make money. See? Give yourself options. You got to learn. I know a lot of you are scared, but again, this may be survival because if you don't have a job and no safety nets, because they're taking away a lot of safety nets, then what? Findhelp.org if you need a safety net. Go to findhelp.org. This is where you put in your zip code and your state and the federal funds that are given to nonprofits. This is what it's used for to help American citizens. Actually, I shouldn't even say American. It could be anybody inside America. I don't really know. But this is where we're going with this, ladies and gentlemen. Post retirement travel said it best. Look at this. Again, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. This is right around the corner. We're talking about my daughters, my grandchildren. They could live in a whole different America in about 10 years or less. All right. That's what's scary. Hardly any upside, getting phased out. It's bad. There it is. 401k customers getting phased out. There it is. No excuse. There'll be links down below in the description box after the live stream. So anybody that misses this on the replay, that's where you can get it. Sometimes it's easier to hide in the crowd. EV place. That's exactly right. You got that right. That is true. That is true. Here's another crazy news. FDA issues new safety warning after finding 9 more lead leaching cookware brands. Oh my. I didn't see this one. Wow. Wow. I told you guys, you don't know. You got to pay attention to what's. Yeah, I got it now. Thank you. Wow. 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 This is, yep, imported cookware. This is what we're dealing with out here. Why, oh, why is this happening? It's what we're dealing with. I'm putting it in the chat room. There's 9 additional. Some people on uh, the iHeartRadio. I know. I guess I might as well say some of it. Sonex Cookware, retailer Allenware Food Corp out of Brooklyn. Sonex aluminum pot recalled November 18th. IKM aluminum saucepan. India Metro out of Fremont. Recall 1119. This is bad. Brass Taupe, also in Fremont. Lotus Mom Corporation is distributor. Isn't that nice? If you want to, like, recalled. India Metro at Fremont, California. Aluminum Kadai Size 5, a cook brand. Wow. I'll just put a link down below in the description box. Silver Horse Aluminum, Punjab Supermarket, Rosedale. Wow. Silver Horse Aluminum. Oh, this is getting, hold on. It's more than 9. This is like 20 on this list. Holy, wow. Hold on. I was thinking it was only 9. It's not 9. Here you go. It's in the chat room now because there's more than 9. This is insane. This is insane. Americans, do you know where you live? Wow. The agency says the newly identified products were found to leach enough lead to render food unsafe, prompting an expansion of its ongoing investigation. Jesus. The way the FBI is going now, so my brothers on the job tell me, national security, espionage, etc., is a thing of the past. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Are we serious? What are they talking about? It's not a thing of the past. All I have to do is wear a mask and gloves and walk across a border or get on a boat and come on shore and make sure I don't get hemmed up by police at all. So they have to check my stuff. But even if they did, it'll just say, okay, show up in court. You're here illegally. It's a misdemeanor. First time, we're gonna have to kick you out. All right, good. I mean, so what? I mean, that's about it. The second time, if I came back, then we got problems. A little more problems. I'll put it that way. But still, if my complexion is correct, I have no problems. Let's get real. All right, that's terrible news, Joe Nay. I mean, I can't believe somebody would think that somehow we're safe from. I just can't believe this. You're blowing up boats off the coast of Venezuela in broad daylight. Family members are getting hurt, killed, maimed. They want to have retribution. We're going around the world in other locations, probably doing nearly the same thing, and we're expecting no blowback. There's always going to be national security for the what we're doing around the world. I mean, Jesus, this isn't. I'm sorry to hear this. This is makes we're not safe. Eric, can you put the link in for the trading Bible? Yes. Thank you for asking. I'll put that in again. Uh, Also, I put the Bankus, get that app. And if anybody wants to find out about Bankus, here, I hope this is the one I have. I have a link for tomorrow, Tuesday and Thursday, I guess now is the, yeah, Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern time. They have a presentation for Bankus. Again, it's because you refer people, which is I put the link in already. Let me add the link to this. The thing is, you refer people, they order the card and they use the card. There is some networking that they can do, but again, I don't really care. But hey, since I'm sharing it, hey, you guys get the card, whatever's fine. But I'm just saying, I like it's outside of America. That's all there is to it. All right. Now, the trading Bible. Let me get that too. That should have been on my list. Where is it? Here we go. The Candle Bible, ladies and gentlemen. This is because if you don't understand the candlesticks, the Candlestick Bible, this is great information. I'm up to, it's 168 pages. I'm on 170. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot trying to remember. And again, not, you don't really have to remember everything. You kind of just have to go with what you feel comfortable with. There's so many different options. Go with how you makes your brain work for what you want to do. All right. There you go. Thank you for that. It's in the chat room. Tamara, Larry, another investors in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy to see you. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And she brings her signature tagline. Hello, all. Okay. Well, I should bring up because Chi Town. Now, I have, oh, I don't have it. Oh, I don't have it. I was going to say I have one of the most beautiful songs I've heard in a long time. Chi Town artist and writer Drake Bake made a song that he's not going to release. So I can't really do too much with that. I can't do too much. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, are you kidding me right now? Let's see. Wait, what's this? Oh, no, this is somebody else because there's a pro. Okay, I see what I'm gonna have to do now. Okay. I'll do it a different way. Drake Bake from Chi Town. Uh I think I can still pull it up under that. Drake Bake. Okay. This, yeah. Let me go see something real quick because I want to see if he left his song up. I don't think he did, but if he did, I got this sweet, awesome song that. Nah, he didn't leave it up. He didn't leave it. I knew he wouldn't. Hit songs, ladies and gentlemen. It's a hit song that he let me listen to briefly. I'll give you another hit song, but this is for all this one tear jerker. This is not this is a jerker, and the song title is Daddy. Yep, you heard me, Daddy. So all the people who may have missed their father in their lives, it may or who have not, this could mean something. I like the concept. I like the music. There's three or four versions. He was kind enough to send me previous versions. This latest one is a different version than the first two or three that I heard before. He used different artists because he didn't like the voices. He wrote the song, but this is not him singing the song. I gotta go show some love for our man out of Chi Town. Go right here. I put in the link to this Daddy song. You guys check it out later, not now, but it's powerful. And I almost had to almost start crying at the end. I'm just saying. All right. All right. So there you go. Check it out, please. Now back to this stock in crypto, boom or bust. You want to win either way. Trading allows you to win either way. Just saying. Study first. Do not do the old adage, oh, just put some money in and learn on the fly. No, I was learning all kinds. I did an auto buy, and I thought since I didn't have to learn how to trade, I thought, okay, God, it was good. And we won like the first two or three times we used it. And all of a sudden it reversed. All of a sudden the stock market was going up instead of like slightly down. And that changed that. And I realized the Autobot likes a trend down. So slight trend. But any market going up, that it doesn't like that. So that's when I was like MGA0214 explaining like L. And so he goes, you can learn how to trade yourself. And my friends who've been telling me that for years was kind enough to send over the candlestick book. I started studying. So I have to say, I'm excited because now you can eat for a lifetime. Give a person something that like fish. Teach them how to fish. You can feed yourself for a lifetime. Right? This one again, it's your choice. Obviously, it's numbers. People really don't like numbers, but just think about it. Just think about it. Okay, I give you the 2 and 8 Bankers. I give you the Bankers card. So if you want the Bankers card is outside the USA, so you only have to do. So the card doesn't even have a name, which is name. All right, just saying. I like anonymous, especially when you're making money. I like anonymous. That's why people have LLCs. This is why people have trust. Right, anonymous. Speaking of trust, uh, I would advise first things first. You can go to Chat GPT and try to form a trust for the state that you're in. And you can put in there, I need it to be good, regulated, licensed, the laws are for the state I have the trust in and federal government. Keep that in mind. There's a lot of people that are about to be a whole lot sicker because the FDA, can you guys believe what they're doing, allowing pesticides in our food supply with their PFAS? That is chemicals, forever chemicals that your body has a hard time expelling. They're allowing that in pesticides. Did you hear what I'm saying? That means our food supply. So you might want to start thinking about some of those boxes, your soil, what you're going to grow on your own. Just saying, this is almost like we're talking about we got to be like in the 1850s or something. I mean, that's like what they're trying to do. And I don't want to be back in 1850s as a black guy. I'm just saying. Okay. I don't want to be in the 1960s as a black guy either. I'm just saying. I mean, let's get real. I mean, this is what this is like. This is crazy right now. Everything trying to hurt people, trying to kill people. I mean, this is American citizens, man. You guys, we got a problem. These guys don't care about these pesticides in our food supply. Woo, you're gonna be sick. PFAS is are tied to cancer. Let's get real. You can't get this chemicals out. Here, let me just do it this way. You can if you can't get these chemicals out your body, you're gonna have problems. Forever chemicals. That's not good. Just saying. Just saying. Um, Here I uh wanted to get this. What does PFAS do to your body? Fertility issues, pregnancy issues, increased cholesterol, changes in your immune system, hypertension. Do you understand? This is just the beginning of the list. This is not good for you. All right. I can't keep going on because I'm trying to talk about stock and crypto boom or bust. And what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is you're going to need to figure out, check your sound. Okay. Brian P., can you hear me? 3 minutes ago. Hold on a second. Let me check something. Let me see where I'm at. Hold on. Okay, good. Don't tell me check my sound. It's showing in my background. Sound is good. Uh, Now I'm going to have to wear headphones. I haven't worn these in a while. Okay, maybe on Wednesday I'm going to have to bust these out. Right? Okay. Hold on a second. I don't have this hooked up. All right, we're going to have to go back to I don't have this hooked up tonight. Hopefully I got sound check, sound check. All right, we're good. That's good to hear. All right, Eric, how is your comfort level now with Forex trading? Are you finally trading with the real green ones? No. No, no, no. I'm not prepared. I think I was going to start last week, but things got kind of crazy, Thanksgiving and all that. And it would have been great if I would have been in the market today because I would have been able to take advantage of that slide on the Bitcoin, BTC, USD. I'm sure would have been great. But no, I'm not there yet. I'm probably going to start. If it's not tonight, it'll probably be tomorrow night. All right. So, or tomorrow. I'll put it that way. It's going to be sometime tomorrow. I'm thinking, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to rock and roll. I've been studying and I haven't studied the whole Candlestick Bible yet, which is why I kind of waited because I said, you know what? There's so much more. Why short myself? But that studying more means I'm learning so many other things, which now your brain can only hold so much info. So I could see where, once I feel comfortable already with the certain way to trade with the high, low trend lines and things like that. But now there's other things that potentially could help me do better. So we're gonna be good. All right. Sound is good now. Thank you. Sounded like you had mic inside your pocket for a second. Thank you. It might have been something sometimes I don't know, it just started switching off recently. Remember, like last week, sound went out. It's crazy. But nonetheless, we need you trading, ladies and gentlemen. So I put it in the chat room. There'll be a link down below in the description boxes, no matter where you're listening from, for the Candlestick Bible. There'll be a link for the CoinX. That's a broker that's outside the United States. Okay, not regulated by the US. You cannot use TradingView and you can't use a few other places that don't allow them. It's that simple because, again, remember, KFC or KFC, no, KYC, know your customer is what KYC stands for. Remember, at Bankus, no KYC currently. You get a Visa card, you can send crypto to it. So any winnings that I have is going on that card. It's that simple. Some people are like, well, what are you saying? It's not really trackable. Again, I don't really care if it's trackable, really. But all I'm trying to say is I don't really want it trackable. So if I can avoid trackable later, then so be it. Just because I might use Coinbase or Kraken or anybody else exchange, it's regulated in the US. So yes, they have my info. This is how much money I sent out. Great. But they're not going to have the info on how much money is coming back in. Simple. All right. Just offshore, just like the rich guys, just like their corporations, just like they have bank accounts outside of America. You should do the same thing. Nobody says you have to be rich to do what the rich guys do. They just give themselves an advantage. And that's why you need a trust for any of your assets that you decide, or multiple trusts. And I suggest you go look at Chat GPT and start messing around. It's free. They start doing this free thing and then it changes to a less than Chat GPT. But you might as well start. You can always go see your advisor, your planning, right? Go talk to your planning advisors after you have talked and told ChatGPT what you want to do. And then you can tell the people that you're going to have to pay money to, or maybe not, but you say review it and let them say, well, in our state, this is what there may be a little nuances, right? That would be my advice. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay whatever, 5,000 to 10,000 to have one created. When you can actually just tell Chat GPT, you can actually tell them everything. The beneficiary's name or trustee's name. You give a title or name of the trust. Grantor. I'll just tell you this: grantor does not need to be you if you want to control the trust. If you want to control the trust, then you need to be trustee. You don't even care who the grantor is, because the grantor is giving up all their assets in there anyhow. And if you can put a provision in for a trustee to add assets to the trust, and so now the trustee and beneficiaries and grantor are not subject to lawsuits and other things based on those assets that are in the trust. All right, just keep that in mind. You can ask Chat GPT, you can ask AI. They will give you, based on the laws of the United States with regard to trust. And you have to pick a certain trust, right? There's a revocable trust, for instance, a living trust. A living trust has its advantages. That's while you're alive, this, that, and the other. Irrevocable trust, a lot of people don't like, because once you get put things in the irrevocable trust, you can't really take it out, even though you could write a provision that things can be taken out. But taking out means oftentimes sell. And there's one last thing. You know, this Medicaid and Medicare, if if you have a living trust, that means the person that's living still controls the trust. If that person gets sick and they need Medicaid coverage, you do understand that if they have assets and you need that Medicaid coverage or nursing home, hospital, whatever, they can get your assets. Just remember. So, and you have a 5-year look back for irrevocable trust. So these are the things you need to figure out, right? Because if you're, let's say, 70 years old and you decided to do a trust, irrevocable, and in 3 years you got sick, needed Medicaid coverage, needed to be in a home or hospital environments, whatever, and they go and say, well, he has this home, this whatever assets, they can actually make you sell or take it to pay. Irrevocable trust covers your Medicaid. And that's what you want to make sure, because now you no longer own the asset. You are the grantor. You're giving your asset into the trust. You no longer control it because you're not the trustee and you're not the beneficiary. So therefore, you no longer own the home. So if you have a Medicaid situation, it will not be taken out of the family after your hard earned work. So there's pros and cons on everything, but it's up to you. So you go to the estate planning person, attorney, preferably, advisor, somebody that can look it over, but you can craft something and ask questions and say, hey, does this qualify for whatever you're trying to accomplish? It's a beautiful day in America. All right. Hopefully that helps. We want to make you stop struggling now, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do here. Okay, let's go. What's this? Thousands of U.S. trucking schools could lose accreditation under DOT crackdown. Yes, Brian P., it's happening. That's already a given. Soon as you had tariffs, that caused the transportation system to be a problem because now you have less traffic. That means less transportation companies, less loads. Somebody's going out of business. And now, if I was, I can't even have this is almost like a Russian plant. If you want to destroy America, this is like a playbook. It's going like one after another. You understand if you have transportation issues, if you cut off, let's say, trucking business, do you understand how much it's like 30 or 40%? I don't even know the number exactly. 30 or 40% of all our goods and services moves by trucks. I mean, so when you start taking away trucking schools, so now you stop having people employed, then you put trucks that can move artificially without drivers on the road. Now you're going to lose those jobs in itself. But now you're saying, oh, we're going to start messing with our trucking system. I mean, this is getting very bad. This is going down the line. You're you're making food cost more. You're making sure energy costs more. You're making sure food's not safe. Your drinking water's not safe. You're making sure Medicare, Medicaid, healthcare is going down. Rural hospitals are going to be leaving because you took money out of Medicaid and Medicare. And other hospitals in other cities are going to be closing. I mean, this is how do you f up a country? They're doing it. It's like I don't understand. This is insane right now. Then they tell nurses and people are no longer a professional accreditation for them. So now you have people who are taking care of other people, and you now are saying, well, you can just be like another guy that makes less money. I'm like, that is not a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody's coming to work and you're relying on them to take care of you health wise and they don't give a damn, you know what's going to happen. Let's get real. You know that person or persons in this wing is going to be in trouble. I mean, this is outrageous. It just keeps going. Just keeps going. I mean, I'm just like there's a Russian plant in this government. I mean, this is insane right now. The Department of Transportation is threatening to shut down thousands of truck driving schools and other training providers as part of the Trump administration. What are we doing here? What are we doing? In fact, let me just do this right now. What percentage of goods and services are transported in America by truck? Let's see what that number is because I don't know. Oh, yikes. Oh, no. Trucks transport over 70% of all freight in the US, moving the vast majority of goods by weight and value, including 83% of agricultural freight by tonnage and over 95% of certain goods like meat and poultry. Oh my God. Are you kidding me right now? I didn't know it was that high. Holy smokes. This is what we're messing with right now after we destroy our trading partners, Canada and Mexico. We mess that up. I'm just like, now this? I put in the chat room. You guys can see it for yourself. This is outrageous. This right here is major. This is major. This is from the American Trucking Association, the U.S. Census Bureau, and the Bureau of Transportation Statistics. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you messing with this? What do you mean you're closing down schools, trucking schools? This is insane. I cannot even believe this right now. 70% of all freight in the US. And then we're talking about 83% of agriculture and 95% of meat and poultry. Wow. I guess our meat and poultry is about to go up, and I guess our fruits and vegetables are about to go even higher if this happens. Holy smokes. Ladies and gentlemen, again, prices are going up. The DOT announced Monday it plans to revoke the accreditation of nearly 3,000 trucking schools and trainers unless they can comply with federal requirements within 30 days. What the frick, man? Seriously? 30 days? And warned another school. Oh my God. That's crazy. I no longer have a profession. Shaking my head. Exactly. Tamara Larry. That's right. You're in that field. They said that you're not professional anymore. So all those certifications, all the years of training, all the years of learning the new level of skill set that you need. They said, "Oh no, you're just like the guy that didn't go to school." I'm just like, this is insane. So they can pay them less. I'm like, this is insanity. Just like teachers getting paid less to teach your children. And you say, nah, it's only good. They can make $25,000 a year. It's all good. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy right now. This is crazy. Right, Tamara Larry, this is bad. I mean, if I mean, it's a Russian plant. That's the way I look like he's a Russian agent. The GOP is like a Russian agent party because, again, who goes over to Russia all the freaking time, sits at Putin's tables and hang out with him while he's having a gala? Can you? I mean, that was the first sign like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. That should have been a breach of protocol in itself when all these GOP senators are going over there hanging out with Putin like it's the thing to do when he's our enemy. And now we have these plants doing all this crazy nonsense, killing all of our industries one by one. Food industry, now the transportation industry. Then you take away our allies because we're doing tariff wars against the world, including our allies. And they're like, I mean, what the frick? This is insanity, man. I didn't even know it was this bad out here. It's getting worse by the day. Holy smokes. Holy frickin' smokes. 1 year, that's what you have, ladies and gentlemen. Now you understand. Again, I told you guys 5 years ago what to do. Now I'm telling you in the last 2.5 years, we're down to 1 year now to get everything in order. You want your debt consolidation done? You need help? Go to findhelp.org. That's the first thing. Findhelp.org. American citizens, you need help? Go to findhelp.org. There's a lot of services that can help you there. Some at a little bit of cost, some free entirely. Go there. All right. This is where we're going. I can't even believe what I'm reading tonight. Secure some passive income and move to a low cost of living country. Have to seriously consider it in order to really enjoy the good things in life. Exactly. Post retirement travel. That's why we were on that bandwagon 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. That's why we started. You started 2 years before. So again, everybody, you've been set up for the situation at hand as we speak. And now you're going to have to do the next part. You're going to have to get that offshore. This is mandatory. You need offshore banking. You need offshore real estate or business. This is mandatory. You need banking outside the U.S. You need debt. And if you have a bank account outside the U.S., don't worry. You have a debit card. All right. just not under USA jurisdiction. Just like the banker's card, it's not under USA jurisdiction. The CoinEx broker is not under USA jurisdiction. It's simple because you can see this is like a Russian plant, obviously, is in power here because they're doing everything. I mean, what's next? They're taking away your Medicare, they're taking away your Medicaid. Their food assistance is not happening. They don't want to change the minimum wage or have livable wage jobs. They're taking away unions that traditionally have health care, livable wage jobs. They get rid of unions. That's only less than it's single digit. We're talking about 5 or 4% of all workforces is under a union now. I mean, this is in the wrong direction entirely. And inflation is going to kick up because we just spent $2 trillion this year. Not we, the government spent $2 trillion this year. So we have, in reality, we're $40 trillion in debt because we don't have the money. And we still haven't even got to the tax cut, tax break scenarios yet, which is going to add probably $4 to $5 trillion on top of that. So we're going to be at 45 trillion by the next 7 to 10 years. And before then, the way things are going, this time next year, it's probably going to be another $2 or $3 trillion wasted. Whew. Okay. Hopefully, we've got you prepared, ladies and gentlemen. I gave you the Tracy Sharpe. I gave you the findhelp.org. I've given you some advice, recommendations, stock market, the crypto. You can trade all of it. So you should learn how to trade. The candles are the same. So you don't have to worry about whatever currency or Forex or anything you're doing, the precious metals. The candles mean the same thing. That is the one thing that I love. And you know what else? You can be anywhere in the world. There are other exchanges. The candles still mean the same thing. Or your markups, if you go high, low for the last 4 hours or daily, however you want to mark it up to make you feel comfortable, you pick the high, the low, because the stocks move in a channel generally. And then you know what to do when you do the candlestick Bible. What happens if it breaks out either on the high side or the low side? You can still win in either direction. That's what makes it a beautiful thing. You can wait also for your time. You don't have to trade right now. You could just wait for the setup that you feel comfortable with. And you say, yes, I know what the market should do. Let's see what happens after this next candle. You're reading the market and you've already had your markups and you're sitting there going, well, normally this goes down and then or up. And then you say, well, let me see. Okay, that's how it's supposed to go. Is this the time to enter? This is what I believe. Okay, let's go. That's the way I look at it. But other people may get more technical about it, but that's how I'm looking at this when I'm trading. So just keep that in mind. I'm doing all, and what I'm doing right now is the reason why it's taking so long is because I'm trying to do some other things to see if I can actually have an advantage. Because I'm sitting there going, well, can I really trade in a narrow channel? So far, the answer is hell no. It's hell no. Forget about it. Just go with the wait until you like what you see on the screen and then trade something that you feel more comfortable. I tried again today to do the small channel thing. Disaster. Can't happen. I said, nah, I need more time. So I'm just going to trade. I don't like the narrow channels, the choppy channels. I'm going to have to wait till something either, has a little more volatility. So that's the best thing. So again, I'm expecting BTC USD. I'm going to check that out tonight after we're off this live stream. I need BTC USD. I'm going to check out what happens tomorrow or later on when London opens up or something and see what happens because I have a feeling sooner or later, instead of going down, it's going to go up. And I want to take that ride because that thing usually moves. It usually goes like 2,000, 2,500, 3 grand, 4 grand potentially. We could be at 86.5, but tomorrow morning when the USA market opens, we could be at 90. That's what happened last week. So that movement, that upside movement, if you were in on that trend and you held your trade long enough or not, depending on how much profit you want to make, you could have been doing a great deal of work that day, making money. All right. So I'm going to end it right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2 hours. I haven't been on a live stream in 2 hours for a long time, but I want to thank everybody for getting you being here and listening because, again, thanks to Mr. Dividend, Brian P. He's over here telling me about these news information that I didn't know about the other one. That trucking one, that just blows my mind. And then Larry just reminded me about the accreditation and not professional for nurses and CNA. I don't even know the extent of it. All I know is that's very, very bad. There's already bad apples in the nursing and the caregiving and all that type of services that they just want a paycheck. Now the paycheck is going to be less, is what I read from it when you tell somebody you're no longer a professional. I'm thinking, okay, so what does that mean? No longer going through the certifications, no need to learn more, get updated, ongoing educated information. I'm just like, what does this mean? I'm just like, this is crazy right now, trying to hurt, kill American citizens and not pay American citizens to boot. Meanwhile, I got all these millionaires and billionaires who own these healthcare, Medicaid, who get money for the services rendered at the hospital, goes through certain companies, insurers. They get paid the Medicaid and Medicare money. They're the ones filing false claims. They're the ones robbing American taxpayers. And Trump's already given pardons to 13 of these guys that stole money from Medicaid and Medicare. And I'm not talking about $1 million. Some of these dudes are over $1 billion of fraudulent Medicaid, Medicare claims, and he pardons them. This is insane to me. It's like I got a Russian agent in the office of the presidency right now. Everybody that hurts American citizens, he's pardoning. I mean, the drug guy, man. While you're blowing up boats in Venezuela, and the drug guy is over here getting pardoned that sold like 400 tons of drugs to U.S. citizens, and he goes, I'm going to pardon them guys, but I'm going to kill them couple of people on a fishing boat in another off the shore of another country. That's my priority. Meanwhile, he's let go like 5 to 10 of these guys. I'm like, what are we doing here? Enough. All right, this is how you get stomped out, ladies and gentlemen. But don't worry. Again, you guys know I'm no newbie to being stomped out, trying to be sidelined. This is no difference. This is why we never have thousands of people watching any of the live streams, any of the videos. It's never happened. But I'm still here for you guys because you guys need to understand what's going on is not what you see in the news. It's nothing that is going to protect you. And eventually, you can already see we are on a slippery slope. And if you don't have money, you are screwed. If you don't have assets, you are screwed. If you don't know how to make money without having a job, you will be screwed. What can I tell you? Now is the time to pull up the big boy, big girl pants. And now is the time to understand you may be limited. We all don't know everything. We have to learn most of the time. We just don't get things like this either. You're not up to speed just by like this. It takes time. It could take 3 months. It could take 6 months. It could take a year. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be. Because when something else falls, where they say, I'm sorry, we're cutting off your credit cards, you're a liability. That will be coming sometime next year when 80% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck. And somehow, due to Black Friday, 11.8 billion, 9.1% increase from last year. So another new record. I had told you guys last Friday that there was going to be a new record. It never fails. Why? Buy now, pay later increased as well. People are now going to be debt ridden, losing a lot of stuff: cars, homes, jobs. Do I have your attention yet? American people are also doing the boom and bust cycle as well. So good luck, everybody. It's going to be rough out here. All I'm going to say is you better put, I can't even, disposable income, 80% of Americans don't have it to waste because they're already living paycheck to paycheck. So again, the top 20% of the wealthiest are going to win. They have the money to make investments. Biz buy sell, there's probably people trying to off their business right now, trying to sell it, but people don't have the funds to buy it. So there may be some bizbuysell.com that are saying, you know what, this property, this business, it makes 15,000 a month profit. Here's my tax returns for the last 3 years, and just give me $5,000 a month, and you can buy this at X amount of dollars, and you can give me 2,000 a month or something. You know what I'm saying? There's people that's going to be making deals. A lot of people understand the assignment. They know what's happening out there. If you're running a business, it's going to be choppy waters if you don't live in an up and coming city or town that's growing. It's going to be rough out here because you're going to start having businesses close down, and now you're losing that revenue that people would be going out to spend in their cities and towns. You can see how this goes. I've already predicted this like 40 years ago, quite frankly. We're a third world country, but you don't know it yet. It's because of capitalism. It's very simple. Capitalism is exploitation. In order to make more profit, you always have to increase the price, and there's inflation. So there comes a point where after 30 or 40 years, the inflation keeps rising, and you can't pay people past a certain point for a business to function. Because at one point in America, it was mom and pop businesses employed, like now, the most people. Well, mom and pop businesses can't pay people $70,000 a year. Maybe their manager or maybe the owner has to take that out, but you can't pay multiple people livable wages. So therefore, they have to rely on people that say, well, I'll take 40,000, 48,000. I'll take 30,000. I'll do the serving. I'll do live on tips kind of thing. That's why this is a problem, because that scenario is not going to hold up if you don't have clientele coming in the door. You're going to have to lay those people off. So you can easily see this was always going to be a thing, especially when you nixay the healthcare costs covered by government, especially when you start downgrading professions, the trucking business, now the nursing and the doctor, people that are in the healthcare industry are no longer professionals. Teachers are getting paid less in most cases, not all, but some, it depends on which city, county you're in. But the point I'm trying to make is everything where people have livable wages is getting reduced. But that's the nature of the beast. You can't keep having inflation of 5 to 10% every year and then turn around and say, okay, um, I need a raise of 5 to 10% every year. Don't believe what the government says. You have to go back to 1980, let's just say before 1979. Use that consumer price index number. Do not use the one made up by Reagan, because this trickle down BS was always BS. They're just hiding the truth for the last 40 plus years. Just keep that in mind. All right. Shadowstats.com or shadowstats.net used to exist, And that would keep track. And when you see that it's 14% inflation, 10% inflation, when you see it's double digits and you're getting, oh, yeah, we're going to increase your wage by 3% as a cost of living increase. Yeah, your Social Security, we're going to increase that 2% to 3%. Meanwhile, inflation is really double digits. How long do you think that could work? It worked for 40 plus years right now. But this is coming to an end and abruptly because of what we are doing now by this administration. Everybody that had a nice paying job is being like cut out. Entrepreneurs are being shut off. Transportation, first of all, the transportation industry creates a lot of jobs. You got to have forklift drivers. You got to have packers. You got to have manufacturing. You got to have docks and commercial centers built. You got to have the facilities. I mean, it. There's so much tied to that industry where people are getting a nice paycheck most of the time, not all, but most. And now you're cutting off legs from other people that there's going to be from the fallout. Just like the farmers, when you set in tariffs, and just like the farmers don't have the crop to sell anywhere, now what happens? You have the feed store. Now you don't need the feed store is not getting the customers or the revenue coming in because now we're not selling as much. The transportation to come pick up the supplies or the goods and services, they're not coming because we're not selling. So now that run is cut off. All this is connected, ladies and gentlemen. Our economy is connected. If you chopping off the legs, that means one point A to point B is stopped. Just like when we had the trade war, like now with Canada, and Canada said, oh, no, we don't have a trade war. We're not going to allow your liquor on our store shelves. Forget this going back and forth. We'll just cancel. Those liquor companies, what happens? They go out of business. Same thing. Transportation, now not going to pick up that run. That was a nice run. Not anymore. The salespeople, no reason to talk sales anymore if you're not can't sell to anybody. Just like the soybeans for the farmers. China says we're going to another country, Argentina. We'll get their cheap soybeans. We don't need you no more. And then America says we're going to get 40 billion to Argentina. Why? What? Why? Why aren't you? What? So now the farmers need bailout too. You guys don't understand what is this bailout stuff? It wasn't necessary if you didn't do the first part. If there was no tariffs, then there wouldn't have been bailout money needed. Fallout. All this fallout is to millions of people. We're talking, I don't know the number, but I'd have to guess. We're talking about 20 to 30 million people are affected by the nursing thing, the tariffs, transportation. We're talking about significant, large percentage of this population are in these categories, and they were livable wages. So just keep that in mind. All right, I'm off. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you on Wednesday, I hope, for the Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And it's going to be something along these lines because stock and crypto are going to have movements over the next 2 days. Hopefully, you already know how to trade, and hopefully, you'll be in that game and you'll be able to handle it. If not, study, because one day you may need it. And the only thing that's going to be standing is that casino. Do you understand if the casino went away? Do you know what would happen with the American economy? Do you know what would happen with all these so-called rich guys because it's based on their stock prices? Can you imagine if these corporations don't have as much revenue as they're supposed to and they start going down? It would be one great day if you're Michael Burry, who's betting against the AI market. It'd be one of those days where all of a sudden it plummets. Well, actually, it kind of plummeted today a little bit. But the point is, Imagine if it plummeted like that, like it was 1931 and it went down. What imagine if it went down 1,000 points, 2,000 points, which I doubt. But if it had movements of another 500 to 1,000 a day and you were in the market with the right stock or right index, you could have benefited greatly on that one day if you read everything properly and you were going for that downward trend. And you didn't sell too soon. I mean, cut your trade off too soon and let that go to where it needed to go. And then you felt good and you made some money, because those are the days you want to be available to make sure you can cash in. And that is what's going to save the rich guys. And the rich guys will never let the stock market go away. Let's go. And with all that said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. But please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And my mouth is a little sore, but check, check. We got disconnected. But again, I love you guys. Make sure you smash the like buttons. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like what we're talking about. If you want to check out Bankus, MDA0214, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says, hopefully you bought that stock. It dropped today, and I bought 10,000 more shares, says MDA0214. Okay, MDA0214, you know you mentioned a stock. I need that stock again. And since you said it dropped, that means I'm everybody is still all good, and I can't remember the name of that stock. I know which one you're talking about. I wish, well, I don't know. I can't remember which one it was. We talked about it last week and it was pretty cheap. So please give us the stock symbol before we go tonight. Because again, remember, I always say keep that pen, pad, and paper ready, or watch the replay on Friday night. And you can check it out there. Because if he doesn't tell us in the next few minutes, I might have to go watch the replay to find out that stock, because I don't remember what it was. Um, And no, I'm not going to be able to figure it out either. Let's see. Did it start with an S? No, no, that wasn't it. Let me know. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know what that REKR. No, 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 no. I don't remember that one. Hold on. I don't know if it's the price. Let me see. He said it went down today. That means, yep. $1.70. I knew it was like $2 or something like that. Very, very good. 52-week low is 62 cents. 52-week high. Record recognition systems. Um, do your own due diligence. Record stock, mixed outlook, giving it a strong buy rating and a significant upside potential of over 127% to a median price target of $4, while others maintain a more cautious hold rating. Some sources predict growth of around 39% in the next 3 months. Okay. While financial analysts suggest it may struggle to be profitable for the next 3 years. Okay. Well, this is why you have to do your own research. We have a few people, I don't know exactly what they do, but uh, we will see. What does Record do? Provision of roadway intelligence and data-driven mobility insights. You know what this reminds me of? Let me see. Uh, 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 let me see something. I'm just Googling this because I want to find out. This is hilarious. I just put in if there's any Congress members that have traded Record. Okay. There's not saying it outright, but they say there's a way that we can track it. Um, Quiver quantitative. That's funny. Quiver Quantitative. It was up to $2, quite frankly. But thank you so much. We're going to be out of here right now. Glad to see you, MDA0214. I appreciate that. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's the code. It's REKR. Okay, here we go. He says, look at their contracts, patents, look up WIM, way in motion. Well, there's the clues, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Let's go. Let me put this on here too. I'm going to go do some research. We like cheap stocks that you can win with if it just merely moves to double or triple or four times as much. And it looks like MDA0214 believes in this company. He's saying $10,000 more worth. That is a significant, wait, what did he say about 10,000 more shares? Not $10,000 worth. He bought roughly $18,000 worth of, yeah, that would be $18,000. Very, very nice. Hold on, let me check this out. Contracts. They have government contracts? That would be the key. They have patents. We like patents. And WIM, way in motion, which I do not know what that is. Um, Wait, no. If that means what it, oh, way in motion is WIM. Are you kidding me? Like, that better not be where you don't have to stop at the truck scale and weigh. And way in motion means you're moving. That would be sick. That would be real sick. That would be awesome. Wow, that technology would be cool. Quiver, quantitative. All right. See, ladies and gentlemen, you never know. We always have it. So I've been wearing the gear. Nobody's coming to save you hoodie for a while because it's a little chilly out. So, get your hoodie, ladies and gentlemen. I think we only have a few left. I think they're on the XL. No, it's more than XL. I think it's like 2XL size. I think. I'm not sure. But there's not many left of these bad boys. All right. This is old school. The old school screen printed. All right. Just so you know. It's not the DPG or anything like that. So just letting you guys know, high quality. We're using Gildan heavyweight. So got the nice little hoodie on it. StopStrugglingNow.com. You can go get it there. But both. The hat as well. All right. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, MDA0214, ending this with a bang. And everybody else, I'll see you on Wednesday night. And again, I appreciate your support. I love you guys. Make sure you smash those like buttons, smack the check button, the heart button, the circle, wherever you're listening from, whether you're on a iHearts or on podcasts, make sure you guys show some love as well, because that's the only way we can keep helping people out here. And with all that said, make sure, no matter what happens, because a lot of whatever can happen is going on now that can disrupt your life. But make sure you keep your head up. Keep moving.